A TNA star is under investigation after allegations of domestic abuse. Is a WWE career over? John Cena creative plans, my review of NXT, and more. I'm Luke Owen and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
On September 23, 2025, former TNA Knockouts champion Masha Slamovich was accused of domestic violence against her former partner Akira. The allegations came out following the release of the PWI 500, where Slamovich was ranked 25th, which prompted a Twitter user named Jasmine, a friend of Akira, to come forward and post, "Masha is an abusive piece of shit who feels entitled to everything, including a Ribera jacket. Anyway, enjoy some of her abusive text messages," linking to a Dropbox with 144 images of alleged messages between Akira and Slamovich. The friend also posted images of Akira with injuries which they allege came from Slamovich. In the wake of the allegations, both West Coast Pro and Prestige Wrestling have announced via Twitter that they have pulled Slamovich from upcoming appearances. Akira took to Twitter to post a statement saying, "I woke up to this and people asking me if I was okay. Kinda wanna throw up, kinda wanna go away forever. My friend held back for months because I asked her to, and I would never have said anything. I still don't really want to. I didn't want to lash out in anger because I was angry, suicidal, and depressive since the end of January. I'm not alive though if she didn't take my calls every day while caring for her sick grandfather. I'm not alive if my roommate Wraith didn't laugh with me at stupid videos daily. I'm not alive if Dale Patricks and Simon Gotch weren't there for me. I gave a lot with little in return. I had a lot of growing up to do, and despite my progression, I was always told I was never doing enough. The things I liked and did were stupid and wastes of time. Things I told about my thoughts on my gender and the confusion I was feeling was turned on me. I was lied to about finances and spent more than I should have because I thought we were struggling together. I almost killed myself 3 times as the life I tried to build with someone was torn apart and I became nothing to that person. It was like a withdrawal. Every time I went to the hospital, that person I put on a pedestal was gone. I didn't matter. I would have never said anything. I only came out with my prior experiences of sexual abuse because I was spiraling alone in Japan. I tried my best, but my best was never good enough, and all my accomplishments and money were nothing but tools for someone else. Many things said in confidence turned and used against me. I can't get that time back. I can't get the money back. I can't get the last 4 years of my life back. I was just trying my best to come back and be with my family and friends and dog and try to get signed. I dreamed of doing things. Maybe it won't happen now. I'm not angry. I'm not sad. Not anymore. I'm apathetic. I've moved on, but there's still so much bitterness in my stomach. I don't let it guide me. I've grown up as a person and a wrestler. I've grown up mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm still figuring things out and have nothing to say to that person. I adored them. I still feel phantom pains in my heart every time I see a photo. They're a part of my life and history. I don't get to where I am now, a mature and thoughtful person, without a healthy dose of CTE, without the experiences I went through and the isolation I experienced in a foreign country. But it is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. Sports Illustrated reached out to TNA, who released the following statement. "We take any allegations like this very seriously and have begun an internal investigation." Masha Slamovich is set to face Ash by Elegance for the TNA Knockouts Championship this Friday at Victory Road. There has been no announcement at the time of this recording if that match will be changed. Over in WWE, and Fightful had reported that Piper Niven was dealing with an undisclosed injury after not wrestling since her win over Charlotte Flair on SmackDown on the 22nd of August. Fightful said that WWE were unsure of what the injury was. And Brian Alvarez noted on Wrestling Observer Live that there was some concern within WWE that the injury was actually career-ending. However, Fightful Select have posted a follow-up report, writing, "We're told that while the injury is serious, those we spoke to believe she will return. It's a neck injury and she's still awaiting an official diagnosis. We here at WrestleTalk wish Piper Niven the speediest of recoveries." Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select was also asked by a subscriber what the current vibe in WWE amongst talent is like at the moment after a string of PR nightmares for the company, like the return of Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, confusions and frustrations from fans on how to get WrestlePalooza on ESPN, and the prices of WrestleMania 42 tickets in Las Vegas. SRS noted that while he doesn't get messages from people saying they are miserable like he did between 2017 and 2022, it isn't the over-the-moon, everything is lovely way that things used to be, but it's not bad. There are certainly more criticisms of creative and particular decisions, and the fact that they have to field questions from people like me over some unsavory decisions, business practices, and lawsuits. There was certainly a honeymoon period a couple of times, that isn't there anymore. Some of those creative frustrations, certainly from fans, could be pointed towards John Cena's retirement year, which has certainly had a few ups but far more downs, etc. With Cena not appearing on any Raw or SmackDown between WrestlePalooza and Crown Jewel, along with the squash defeat to Lesnar at WrestlePalooza, many figured and speculated that Cena and Brock would have a rematch in Perth. However, Brian Alvarez reported that there were no plans for a Cena-Brock rematch. Bodyslam reported that Cena was originally planned to win at WrestlePalooza, but the Wrestling Observer claims that it was Cena's call to lose as he wants to put people over on his way out. So, with no Brock rematch on the cards, Cena took to Twitter yesterday to instead lay out a challenge for AJ Styles, himself busy in a feud with the Americanos, for Crown Jewel next month. AJ accepted, and WWE have now made it official. It will be Cena versus Styles in Australia. To the surprise of no one, it's been reported that the reason this match was built up on Twitter was because Cena is not at any TV shows until after Crown Jewel, so they can't shoot any angles. Bodyslammer also reporting that Dominic Mysterio has been discussed for one of Cena's final matches with the company. But it's Wednesday, you know what that means. It's time for my review of this week's NXT featuring a TNA invasion. And as Ollie said yesterday on the WrestleTalk news, please do sign up for our Instagram and WhatsApp broadcast channels using the links in the video description down below, and sign up for our daily newsletter because we can't trust YouTube to send our videos out to you anymore, so the best way we figure to make sure you see the videos is to literally spam you with them and send them to you directly. All the links for that are in the video description down below. But this show kicked off with Miles Bourne beating Lexus King in a lights out match, which in WWE land is very literal as the lights are turned out for the match. This was a fun plunder bout with some hard-hitting stuff. King at one point tried to Pillmanize the neck of Bourne, really the most fitting guy to try and do that spot, but Bourne got out and speared him through the barricade. Both men were totally fine afterwards and got right back up, and Miles got the win by hitting Bourne again through a table. He later stared down Ethan Page backstage and his North American Championship. Page then came out for a promo with Dr. Wagner Jr. of AAA at ringside. Page said that he would be the Latin American champion if not for Wagner, and challenged him into the ring for an impromptu match, and Wagner tapped him out quickly with the ankle lock. He then revealed Scooby-Doo style it was actually Old Man Tavion Heights who owned the haunted amusement park all along. This was a fun angle. Lainey Reed beat Candice LeRae to win the Speed Tournament and will now face Sol Rucker at No Mercy this weekend. Jada Parker cut a promo on Lash Legend, and Lyra Valkyria thought it was still homecoming and returned to NXT again this week to chat with Tatum Paxley before she was taken away by Izzy Dane. Jordan Grace beat Ariana Grace quickly with Direct Effect, then had a brawl with Blake Monroe, and Stevie Turner and Robbie E, who are running the show in place of Ava this week, booked a weaponized steel cage match between the two of them for No Mercy. Jacy Jane told the rest of Fatal Influence to stay backstage so she could cut a promo on Lola Vice on her own, where she proclaimed that actually she's the underdog this weekend as she won't have the hometown advantage. While Lola Vice has been shaking her ass, Jane has been working hers off. Vice then came out to talk about Bum some more and said that she's now more than just a fighter, she's a pro wrestler. Jane said that she knows that she's gonna get beaten up this weekend, but assuredly noted that somehow, some way, she will leave the show as champion, and Vice laid her out with a back fist. This was a really good promo segment. Jane in particular was great. Later in the show, Jasmine Nix was laid out backstage, and Jane and Fallon Henley didn't seem all that bothered, seemingly kicking her out of the group. Josh Briggs cut a promo on Siobhan Evans, and Darkseid took on the team of Chase Hugh and Joe Hendry. Throughout the night, there was lots of chatter and shots of TNA stars arriving to NXT. I think it says a lot about Joe Hendry feeling like a WWE guy and already part of the furniture that the commentators didn't note when talking about the impending TNA invasion that one of the 6 guys in this match is a TNA guy. The match built to the Joe Hendry hot tag, but it was Uriah Connors that impressed me the most as he ran wild, so of course he ate the pin by Darkseid. Ricky Sainz cut a promo about being the #1 contender for the NXT Championship, which, while true, Trick Williams is about to have a match ahead of him for the NXT Championship, so really he's the #1 contender? But anyway, Trick then had said title shot where his TNA Championship was also on the line. Predictably, this ended in DQ when Mike Santana attacked Trick Williams. But this was less about the match, good though it was, as it was really about showing loads of TNA talent in the crowd, like The Inspiration, Steve Macklin, Frankie Kazarian, Eric Young, and Matt Cardona, who then brawled with NXT stars as the show went off the air, focusing on Saints and Femi holding on to the NXT Championship. 5 of the TNA names I just said there are former WWE talent for the record. It was a fun angle to close what was a really good episode of NXT. It's the difference between Triple H's main roster glacial storytelling and HBK's developmental, where each week of NXT feels like it actually advances storylines whilst also having good wrestling and giving talent big wins and meaningful losses. But it is hard to compare this to last week's NXT because it was the homecoming celebration, so I won't compare the two. And how much are those tickets for WrestleMania 41? Find out why there's so much fan fury by checking out yesterday's WrestleTalk news.